Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Tuesday, May 6th, and I don't know how many times you can have the worst loss of the season, but I feel like every day we wake up and it's just like, oh, yesterday was the worst loss of the year, and it just keeps happening like Groundhog Day. I'm in somewhat the unique or one of the few people who gets to interact with Yankees fans on a regular basis, like all day long. People are calling. We usually have the post-game show with, between 600 and 1,500 people watching every single night, leaving comments in real time, calling in after the show. And then I wake up and I see the comments in my inbox and the comment section under the videos. And there's a few things that are resounding themes among Yankees fans right now. Number one, they are absolutely over Devin Williams. Over him. Completely. And I'm going to adjust my screen a little bit here just because I don't like the way I'm cutting off. Anyway, they don't want him anywhere near a game that the Yankees could possibly win. Unless the win probability is down to like 0 point whatever, he just needs to park himself in the bullpen. He can be on seed cleanup duty. Number two, Aaron Boone's moves, especially his bullpen moves, have gotten weirder and weirder. On Sunday, you had the May 4th game, you had the big bobblehead day, and Aaron Boone went with the punt lineup. One of the worst bottom halves of the lineup that you can imagine. He continues to sit Dominguez against right-handed pitchers when Dominguez has elite numbers against right-handed pitchers. If you want to sit him against the lefty. I got no problem with that. Maybe spend that day working in the cage against the traject machine, throwing lefty, work on your swing. Number three, perhaps the most important thing, despite being in first place right now, I feel like the fan base does not think that this Yankees team is made up of championship stuff. There have been some promising signs. I don't want anyone to think that there haven't been. We didn't expect this level of production from Paul Goldschmidt. He's been great. Looks like Judge is probably headed for another MVP award. He might hit 385 this year with 50-plus home runs. He's on an absurd pace. Max Fried looks like he could win a Cy Young Award in his first year with the Yankees. He's been untouchable. But this team has some obvious flaws. I'm not a fan of the manager. I know a lot of you are not fans of the manager. I think the extension was a mistake. There's significant problems. Our third base issue has been ongoing, and there's no real great solution right now. Cabrera has had his throwing problems, doesn't have a lot of pop. Oswald Peraza has had his hitting problems. Pablo Reyes just has problems in general. DJ LeMahieu has been hurt, but he's on the mend, but it sounds like he's going to come back and play second base, which I think is a mistake. I think they need to give Yorbit Vivas an extended run while Jazz is out. Volpe has a habit of kicking balls late in the game in big spots. Dominguez couldn't hit a lefty if world peace depended on it. Bellinger has been mostly disappointing, but lately he's had some better numbers over the last couple of weeks. And about 40% of the rotation is utter crap. Carlos Carrasco just got DFA'd today. Yerry De Los Santos was added to the roster. Sounds like Alan Winans or Ryan Yarbrough could take his spot in the rotation, but Boone left open the possibility that Carrasco could return. We've seen that with Ottavino, where they DFA'd him and then they brought somebody back. But regardless of what's caused it, this team should have 5 more wins than it does. They have blown 5 leads in the 8th inning or later and lost them all. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable for a full season. We're on May 6th. Season is 35 games old. 1/7 of the Yankees' games have been blown in the 8th inning or later. And it's got a lot of you in a bad mood. So we are going to fire up some voicemails. We're going to begin with Marissa.
Hey, Marissa from Long Island here. I have no words for Devin Williams. He really has to go. Boone is a bonehead. He should not put this bum in any game where it is a tight game.
Agreed.
He should not be in the game. Honestly, he has to go back to Milwaukee Trade him to
Anywhere
any
else.
team, but he cannot be on the New York Yankees anymore.
I agree with you, Marissa. I think the Yankees should consider a number of trades over the next couple of months. One of these is to just trade Devin Williams for any noun, any person, place, or thing, right? If you want to give us a player, great. If you want to give us a toaster, fine. If you want to give us something laying around and you don't even know what it is, we'll take that too. Maybe we can Pawn Stars it. Here's Jason.
Hey, Derek, Jason here. Sorry about the voice crack.
Yeah,
Just watching your show tonight. You know, you're always a gem at the end of a hard day and a hard loss, so always appreciate your input and your takes. You know, just wanted to follow up. I know everybody wants to put Devin Williams on the next spaceship to the moon or the next millionaire shuttle down into the deep, but you know, I really do blame Boone at this point more than I blame Devin Williams. Maybe Devin Williams doesn't have what it takes to play in New York, but I also think Boone isn't really the player manager that everybody hypes him up to be. I mean, you know, he's got to be the guy to manage Devin Williams' confidence. You know, put him in low leverage situations when we've got a good lead. You know, bring him in to just get that one or two outs that you need. You know, build his confidence back, because you know, if down the road, you know, he's able to put it together, we need that arm. You know, in the postseason, we need that arm at the end of the season if we're going to fight for the title. I mean, you know, if not, I mean, it kind of makes this whole winter a wash, you know, with not getting Soto, going after guys like Williams. You know, obviously we got a lot of good pieces, but I think Boone's just got to work on building this guy's confidence.
Appreciate the call.
Hey, Derek, Jason here.
We just want to hear the voice crack one more time. So I've got a cat back here that's very hungry, and so you may hear him meowing. He has zero respect for the preciousness of the airwaves here. And so Lucky is quite unhappy that we have not fed him yet, even though he knows. And trust me, he knows. He has the timing down. We've done this every day for 15 years. He doesn't eat until 5 p.m. And he's upset. And he protests this every day. He's 17 years old, and he wants to eat earlier, but he's not going to.
Hey, Derek, it's Spike from New Jersey. There's a problem with this Yankees team, even the team of the last year or two, I would say, that I know you know about. It's the lack of clutchness. When I was 10 years old was when I first started watching the Yankees religiously. It was 2009, and I remember thinking in the ninth inning, even if they were down by 3, 4, maybe even 5 runs, that there was a chance that they could come back. Maybe that was because I was young at the time, but also I felt like they did come back a lot back then. Now, I feel like if they go down 1 run going into the ninth inning, it's a guaranteed loss. There's no clutch players on this team. They just don't hit if they're down. The only time we win a game is if we bludgeon the enemy to death.
It does feel like that. I'm trying to think of who's clutch on this roster. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton's clutch, right? He had our last walk-off home run 956 or 57 days ago and growing every day. I saw he was actually out there today taking live BP off of Jake Cousins, so maybe we'll get him back sooner rather than later. I feel like Ben Rice might have a little bit of the clutch gene. He's hit some balls late in games that were hit rather well. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, you make a great point. Here's Milton.
Hi, Derek. This is Milton again from Texas. I wasn't going to call you in just the latest debacle from yesterday, but I just read or I saw last night how the greatest manager of all time, Aaron Boone, saying, well, you know, Williams has good stuff. His stuff is fine. It's just that his command is off, and he's putting too many men on base. It's like a hitter saying, oh, he's got a good swing. That batter has a really good swing. I like his style. But it's just that he's missing the ball a lot. I mean, he's striking out a lot and hitting into weak grounders. Typical Boone excuse for his players. And I know you don't have to throw him under the bus, but you can be more critical than that, than saying he has good stuff. If he had really good stuff, he wouldn't be pitching as badly as he is pitching. Anyway.
I saw an analytical breakdown of Devin Williams not too long ago, a couple hours ago. And basically the problem is His fastball is much more hittable. He's not throwing strike one as often, and his control has been even worse than usual. It's down. He's in the second percentile of walks, which is awful. He's just walking way too many people. And, that I think is a product of pressure. The guy can't handle pressure. He's scared to throw the ball over the plate. And when he does, it's getting hit. Now, I'm not going to hold the soft hit against him last night, but the walks are a problem. I mean, you put 2 runners on via walk, you're just creating a situation where they can take the lead. Let's take a look at the lineup for tonight. Trent Grisham back in the leadoff spot. Ben Rice batting second. He's at first base tonight. Paul Goldschmidt gets the night off. Aaron Judge in right field. Cody Bellinger in left field. Jason Dominguez is your DH tonight. Anthony Volpe is at shortstop. Austin Wells behind the dish. Austin Wells has kind of been disappointing with how bad he is at throwing guys out. I'm just going to put that out there. Oswaldo Cabrera at third base and Yorbit Vivas at second base. I haven't made my Nostraderic prediction in a few days, but I think Yorbit Vivas is going deep tonight. That's my Nostraderic prediction. Get your predictions in the chat. We're going to take a quick 30 or 60-second sponsor break, and then we'll be back to take a few more voicemails. We got one. We got another one from Marissa. We got one. Matt from California. We got a few others. We got Willie. Everybody loves Willie. So, quick word from the guys at Foul Territory, then I'll be back in 60 seconds.
It is complicated enough to figure out what type of car you want, but when it comes to pricing and best time to buy and all of that information that you're looking for, Car Gurus is the only destination that you should be thinking about, Kratz. Why?
Because I don't have to question what the price is. It's going to be there. If the price changes and comes down to where I want it to be, bang, I get a notification. Car Gurus is giving it to me straight, and this is how I want to purchase a car. Not fast. I just want to know what's going on.
With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the U.S. So you can find the best deal, and it's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. So you can buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.com, cargurus.com.
And we are back. So Word Lifer wants us to go ahead and free Willie. So let's go ahead and fire away with Willie.
This is Willie, Derek. Boone makes this bullshit excuse when they ask him how come Cruz didn't come back out. Oh, well, he pitched 2 innings 2 days ago, not 1 day, 2 days ago. The reason why he didn't bring him back out. That is a bunch of bullshit. 2 days ago.
I appreciate it, man. Willie, we let you cuss a little bit, but maybe dial it down. He's left a bunch of voicemails, and most of them are a lot fouler than that. But I appreciate it, Willie. We got another call here. This is, I don't know who it's from, but it's a Breaking Bad reference.
Good morning, Derek. I'm going to quote Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad here. He can't keep getting away with this! How long is Hal going to let Aaron Boone just completely mismanage every baseball game that he gets his hands on? You have Fernando Cruz through 2 pitches. I didn't want to overextend him. You had Nestor Cortez in Game 1 of the World Series when the bases loaded, but pitched in 2 weeks, blow that game. Devin Williams' experience, it's inexcusable at this point. Aaron Boone needs to go. Hal needs to just put his big boy pants on and do what needs to be done. He'll never get rid of Cashman.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that. We got another call from Marissa, who called in after her shift.
Hey, Derek. Marissa from Long Island again. Sorry to call back about the same topic, but
feel free.
I just finished. I just got off my 13-hour shift at work. So I'm coming home now, 8 in the morning, watching these Yes Network interviews between Aaron Boone and Devin Williams. And I kid you not, I think it's just all scripted excuses, all scripted bull. I'm telling you, I don't know what Aaron Boone had the balls to say that Fernando only threw 2 pitches, but he didn't want to run him back out there for the next inning because he pitched 2 days ago. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, why bring him in the first place? If you're saving him, why bring him in the first place? You know? It just doesn't make a lot of sense there. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Another call?
Hey, Derek. Matt from Denver again.
Hey, Matt.
I want to quickly dedicate this message to my best friend who suddenly passed away last week.
Ooh,
Huge Yankee fan. This one goes out to him. Not that I have anything good to say, but just wanted to share my disappointment that I know you have as well with the decision-making of our manager, Boone, these last couple of games. Just don't understand and continue to get the sense that there are times when he is more dedicated to the game plan by the numbers and the script than he is the feel of the game and who is doing well at any given moment. Who knows what's going on, but if Cruz isn't hurt, he needs to be pitching there. Hope we can turn it around. Hope you're having a good day, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the decisions are baffling. And tonight is going to be difficult because we've got Michael King on the mound for the Padres. We got Jackson Merrill coming back for the Padres. And in case you don't know about Jackson Merrill, he is legit. And we all know that Michael King is legit.
Yo, what's up, Derek? Matt out here in California. I'm wondering if you thought about this take that I'm going to give you right here. Obviously, there's some spots in the lineup that are struggling a little bit to put some rallies together. But think of it this way. Is there any motivation to get a rally going or produce when you know that your bullpen's just going to flush it down the toilet? I mean, that's got to take a mental effect on you, knowing that if you put anything together, you know, even like a clutch hit like Grisham tonight, putting the Yanks up, and then just knowing that it's going to get flushed down the toilet, like how could you even have any sort of spark to fight through a baseball game knowing that everyone's just going to just destroy it in the end?
I don't think that hitters really think about that. I think that hitters are focused on their individual at-bats. And, you know, that's not a great thing either. You want to think about your at-bats in the context of how they can help the team, you know, productive outs or whatever. But for the most part, guys are focused on, you know, how can I have the most productive at-bat that I can have right now? How can I hit a home run? How can I drive in a run? They're not thinking about the bullpen. They're trying to put up runs. It's kind of like the defense and the offense in football. You know, they're almost like two separate teams. Pitchers and hitters don't intermingle a lot. They're different types of people. They're different types of brains. And a lot of hitters don't even think pitchers are real athletes, you know. But I don't think that's a thing that they're sandbagging because or giving up because they don't believe in the bullpen.
Hey, what's up, Derek? Another awful loss yesterday in late innings. Devin Williams, I'm not going to go over it. Everybody has said it a million times. Just an awful signing. And you can't blame the Cashman, honestly, for that. That the guy just can't handle New York. It is what it is. But we've blown like 6 games now in the 8th or later, I think it is. And this team could easily have mid-20s wins. And they don't. They are only 3 games over 500, just like that. So really bad stuff. Also, Vivas, I love him. I want to continue to see him play. Like, I think there's something there, 100%.
I agree with you.
But isn't it crazy how as soon as someone gets called up to the Yankees, that everyone just tries to homer? This is supposed to be like a contact. I'm not going to say Luis Ariz because that's big shoes to give someone. But this guy's supposed to be like a contact hitter. And all of a sudden, he gets called up and he's swinging for the fences and his helmet's falling off and he kind of just looks goofy.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, I did notice that. I did think about that. I was like, well, this guy swings as hard as he can, and the helmet is falling off. Let's just hope he gets a smaller helmet. But you wonder if there's a conversation. You know, it's like your first day working at the severance office. They're like, okay, well, you know, when you go into that elevator, you're going to lose all memory, and you're going to wake up, you know, coming back into the office. You wonder if the moment that they get into the Yankee clubhouse, it's like, okay, just so you know, your only mission here is to hit home runs. That's all we're doing now is we're trying to hit home runs. We're trying to hit home runs all day long, and that's all we're going to do. So, look, I did notice how hard he's swinging the bat for a contact guy. I do like his swing, though. He's got a pretty swing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back after the game. Obviously, tough matchup tonight for the Yankees, and Michael King is sure to be fired up. So, let's just hope that we bust through and put up some runs and that Clark Schmidt can deliver a good performance. And I'll be back as soon as the game is over. Feel free to call up during the game with your reactions, and as always, we'll air them during the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you when I see you. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.